Hi, and welcome back to Teachers Column Podcast, a space for those who teach, lead, and inspire. And in celebration of Women's Month, this month we have an incredible woman. She has mentored me on my very first, or the initial stage of my teaching profession. She transcended from being in a classroom, entering into ministry, and doing a lot of like community work. So we are welcoming a pillar in the community, in her family, and she's just an amazing person. And it gives me a great honor and privilege, like to sit right here with her. Phindile Mthembu, or should I say Mrs. Mthembu.
Thank you so much, David, for having me. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Mthembu.
How are you, Mr. Vilagazi?
No, I'm great. No, like thank you so much for setting up the time to come and be in this space. I know you have family responsibilities, you have a lot of maybe work to do, but you were like, you know what, I'll come and I'll honor your invitation. And so we'll just come here and have a conversation. And I believe like this space and this podcast is meant for people like you. As when I started Mthembu, is because a lot of teachers and a lot of mentors, they go unnoticed. We know of the work, but we don't often know the people behind the work. So even like me, I've been complimented so much in all the spaces that I've been, in all the institutions that I've taught in. But I thought it's like fitting, it's Women's Month, like to have and just show the person that like I didn't know anything, fresh from varsity. and you were there and you opened your heart. You guided me, you shared your experiences, and just your grace alone. Like I've learned so much that I'm even applying now wherever I am. So, and every time I always go back, like all the spaces that I've been in, yes, I grow, I evolve, but I truly treasure those moments and the lessons that I've like learned throughout that time. Because it was like, I was new.
Yes.
I was like, it was...
Yes.
Yo!
Overwhelming.
So, yeah. So like, how are you? How are you feeling? How's life? And yeah.
Yes, I'm well. Thank you so much for inviting me here on this special month of Women's Month.
Yes.
Wow, this is amazing, David. I'm proud of you. Yo.
Thank you.
I'm well. Excited to be here, excited to just share our experiences and impact those listening as well. Yes.
No, thank you so much for putting everything aside and just coming in. Just to start on a lighter note, maybe if we can just go back to the beginning, before the titles, before being a wife, before work, like what kind of outlook like you had and what inspired you to stepping into education?
Oh, looking back as a young girl, I was a very confident young girl. I was a very bubbly girl. I grew up with my mom and dad. They were pastors. They had a church. So growing up with other kids in the church, Sunday school, having kids, other young people around me all the time. But I remember being very confident. My father instilled so much confidence and leadership. It was just us two daughters.
Yeah.
And growing up also in a time of post-apartheid in the 90s, where Black children could go to Model C schools. So I found myself studying with the white kids, being the only Black in your class. And that was the 1990s, Nelson Mandela coming out of prison, you know, and now the Model C schools were opening up. And sure, I didn't notice anything. The way I was just so confident, as I was telling you, I just wanted to do my best and achieve,
Yeah.
But then there were those nuances.
Yeah.
I remember this white boy. I won't mention names because we are still friends. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
My class then, some of them are overseas. We're still friends. And he was sitting next to me and he cried. And he cried because why is he picked to sit with a black person? And there were times where the teacher would send me to go out. Then when I come back, there's like silence. Then I would see that the teacher wants a moment to just chat with them, to say, treat her like this, do this and all that. So, and then I had a friend, her name was Leanne. Pity she's late now. She embraced me. She loved me. She couldn't wait for me at the gate and she held my hand and she was my best friend. So she really eased me. But still in that space, doing well and being a prefect, being a leader, and just growing up, just being confident. I remember that.
No, that's nice. Sounds like you had a very unique, especially looking back at the time that you come from, very unique educational experiences. So now, let's go back to education. Why did you?
Yes.
I know. I think you didn't start there.
Yes.
But how did you end up there?
As a young girl, my dream career was to be a teacher. My mother was a teacher, a lecturer actually. And I would take little kids around the neighborhood and teach them. At church, I was a Sunday school teacher. I was so young, I was a Sunday school teacher. And so I wanted to be a teacher. And then growing up in high school, now watching movies, watching television, watching productions. And I remember watching movies like Sarafina, strong stories. And I was like, how do they make that? How do they do that?
It's magical.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
And now it's like teaching not anymore, but I want to be in this film. I want to write stories. I want to tell powerful stories like that. And that's when I told my parents. Actually, my father passed away when in 1995, and then my mother was there. She actually carried on with the church, the work of God. And I told her that after matric, I'm not even going to university. Immediately, full time, I'm not going to university because I've researched about television. Yeah. I've researched that it's more practical, it's more experience. You need to, have practical experience. And she's like, no, but you have to go to university. It's like, yes, I'll go to UNISA. But whilst trying to get experience in the film industry, in the television industry. And my mother was just amazed at this girl. She's so confident. She's so resilient. Yeah. And I passed very well. And then I started researching about television. I started looking at magazines. I remember those days, True Love magazine was so popular. And they would show women in film. They would show workshops that are happening in Joburg. Yeah. I mean, I'm coming from the East Rand, and I took numbers and I phoned True Love that I see there's a workshop of women in film. Can I attend that workshop? And with UNISA, I was studying communications. Yeah. And then they said, no, you are welcome to come as a young person, a student, and learn. But my aim was I'm going to that workshop to network myself, to know people in the industry, women in the industry, production companies, and I would get their numbers. And that's how I got my first job. I applied at that production company. I want to be an intern. I want to learn. And I think I was 19 then. Yeah. Then I started working. I worked as a production assistant. Yeah. And then still studying with UNISA. Then I went into film, television, and still that confidence, still that resilience, pushing, putting myself out there. Ended up having jobs at Generations. I was a director's assistant. Having a job at Rhythm City. We were the first production team to start Rhythm City. And then I grew more into production, into line producing, into producing, going into reality shows, My Perfect Wedding.
Yeah.
Sure. And then the bug hit me that I want to teach. I want to impart. I want to pass on knowledge, and I ended up teaching media studies, teaching television to students. The boss, this, I don't want to mention names, but the media school, I was taken on to lecture there. So I was lecturing young people about media planning, television. And then I was like, this is my element, teaching, know. And also I was also being married, having children, and the production industry was very demanding.
Yeah.
And I thought, let me go full time into teaching. At least I can also be close to home, be with my children, because with productions, it can be 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You'd hardly see your children. And so I thought, let me also study teaching. So I studied and I did my honors in education. Then I started teaching. I majored, David, in kids with barriers to learning, special needs kids, finding ways to have those support programs for them. So, and that's also where my love for special needs kids, just being in the forefront of breaking those barriers to learning.
Yo, that's powerful. And I remember you showed like pictures with like a lot of celebrities that I won't mention. And I've never got like the full story. So like I'm really happy to like sort of like cover that background. Like, that is truly amazing.
And then through television, through that experience, teaching it. Now teaching students about TV and going now full-time into the schooling system, teaching in primary school.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo, so you wear many hats, like looking at you now.
Yeah, maybe.
And like thinking back, what do you remember like from when we started working together and everyone? I know it was nice. Like there were a lot of like great people there. Like what memory like that comes to you right now?
Yes, I mean we met at this other primary school. Wonderful opportunity.
Yeah.
They pushed us to the limit.
Yeah.
They challenged us. That was good. And I enjoyed being your mentor because I was assigned that a new literacy teacher is coming.
Yeah.
So whenever you whether it can be a year or 2 years or 10 years, you have that experience, you have that growth now. But for someone who's brand new, like David coming in straight from varsity, finding you there, that for me is mentorship because now I must guide someone else.
Yes.
Now I must make sure that they also grow, So mentorship is really a selfless act. And I enjoyed being your mentor because you were willing. That's the thing. You mentor people and you're like, can I talk? Been talking.
Yeah.
There's a reason we have 2 ears and one mouth.
Yes.
Listen more, and you were not like that. You were always just willing, and I enjoyed that.
Because it was really, even though like comparing to most schools like that, they have like a huge volume of kids. We had quite like a small size, but it was still hard to navigate around planning and like working with you and close to you and observing you. Like I've learned so much, like to a point where when you left, like I was sad, but like I appreciated like the time and to just like observe and see. Because there are certain things that from school, you learn the content, the delivery, designing lessons and all of that. But like there are just certain things that you cannot point out that like you learn from a person, from the demeanor, that things that come intuitively like with time, but like to be able to see it, and that really helped me a lot, especially with kids, like little kids, like because I did seen an FET phase.
Oh,
and then boom, I'm in foundation phase. Yeah, but like, so I truly treasure that because it was new to me.
Yes. And as you say, you can study something and all that, but when you get into that environment, it's also a different culture per school. It's also a different way of doing things per school. So to see someone also showing you how things are done here, that's so important.
With all your qualifications.
It's their way of doing things as well, you know?
So like, it was truly, for me, it was like mind-blowing. And like also a lot of people, and the reason why also I'm like, I truly appreciate that time. A lot of people sometimes don't have the privilege to find good mentors. There are bad mentors, there are good mentors. And that can be detrimental to other people's careers, especially when you start. You might even end up miscarrying the passion and all of that. So that is why, till this day, there's so many little things that are benefiting me from where I started. Because even like identifying gaps, they exist even in the top level. But because I started there and being introduced into this world, I'm like, that like so truly helped. Even the resources that you shared, like, I feel like going back there even like till today, like, no, I've learned something. So your teachings, your guidance, like, have laid a very solid foundation, like in my career, and like, to see you grow, and also, you know, it has been inspirational, you know.
Sure. Thank you so much.
And what did like mentorship meant to you then and now? Like,
I mean, then, you know, it was more of guiding someone new, more of for them to also grow. And a lot of patience and a lot of sharing, like I was saying, that we shared resources. And now mentorship, as I said earlier, that it's a selfless act, you know. You know, when the Bible says in the book of Philippians that don't do anything with selfish ambition. Yes, you have your own needs, but other people also have their own needs and interests. So you it's not always putting you first, you know. Also, other people are there, other people have interests. And that verse really also humbles you as a person. It brings down the pride. Because mentorship is about that. It's about pulling up other people, you know, for all of us to grow. So
that's really beautiful. And actually, since it's Women's Month, like why do you think like it's important for women to uplift each other, both maybe in education, you know, in communication, and even in the spaces of like faith as well? Like, why is that also like important?
Sure, lifting each other up, you know. Life is hard. And the more you grow up, you see that it doesn't get any easier.
100%.
So, sure, lifting each other up, building each other up, encouraging each other, supporting each other, holding each other's hands. Oh, that's key. We need that in this harsh reality. Just the word of encouragement, building them from your experiences. I went through this, but I made it doing that. It just makes your life even more positive.
And you're also speaking a lot, like I'm hearing like support and lifting each other up. And I think it's moving on to another question that I wanted to ask you was, what happens when women are seen, supported, and given space to lead? It could be leading other women or just being in a role where you can just lead.
I mean, that dates back to our past, you know, coming out of apartheid, Nelson Mandela coming on and bringing the concept of women empowerment. That concept is not a negative concept. It's not, oh, now you're going to be in a male role. You know, it was about we have a lot of single women in South Africa. We have a lot of women, maybe their husbands are not around, or they are just single parents. Many men are raised by single mothers. Many children are raised by single mothers. So what happens if you don't empower them? They at the end of the day must be the providers for their children, for their family. So that women empowerment opened opportunities for women going through to, I remember in the time of the next president, it was big for women empowerment, opening up opportunities for women, empowering them, taking them out of those subservient roles, and for them also to lead, to have income. Because really from that past, from that background, we had a lot of single mothers, but they were not empowered.
But it's beautiful, like what I see when I look around. I don't know if it's a private school thing.
Yeah.
Most leaders are females. And they're doing a great job.
Yes. Because we are capable. Yes. In reality, David, it's not so, eh? Maybe around your circle, it feels like there's a lot of women, but in reality, men are still leading in roles and in the corporate space. Yeah.
Okay. You know what? If you're still listening, please make sure that you subscribe and you like the Teachers Column podcast. And if you have anything to share to other women, and if you know anything about mentorship, or if you've had a great experience, just let us know in the comments below. Moving on, you still like coffee? Because during lunchtime,
I couldn't function without coffee. I couldn't function without cappuccino. But now things are changed a bit. So I'm more of a tea person.
Really?
Yes. And the reason why I left teaching, it's because now my roles are going more into entrepreneurship. You couldn't be bound into working for someone in the hours. So I needed to manage more of my time as well. And basically that's why I left teaching or being under, a boss,
I know. I think it's also part of growth. Like you become too, I don't know if I'm phrasing it right, like become too big for your shoes. Like you need to adventure, and you feel like you are growing and expanding. And also you left, and how was like the shift from moving from school into, where did you go? Because you just like, Mthembu's gone, and then that was it.
You mean after the teaching space?
Yes.
So, going into entrepreneurship. Also, now adhering full time to the call into ministry. My mom took over, led the church after my father passed away, so the church carried on. And there came a time when she became very weak and old and sickly, and now having to take over that big responsibility of leading people, of leading a church. And also other avenues there as well. Just being busy doing a lot. And funny enough, I still do some consultation work as well in media. Yeah.
I'm Mthembu, you are killing it. And did the role of being an educator, did it play any role in what you're doing right now in some shape or form?
Big time, David, big time. Firstly, in a teaching environment or at school, being a teacher, preparation is key.
Yeah.
You don't go and teach those children without proper planning. You must be on top of that lesson plan. Yeah. All your resources, everything must be ready, preparation. And I took that a lot with me. Whatever I do, preparation comes first. And just accountability. And just being organized. As a teacher, you have to be super organized. Your wall, even your greeting, you plan it. Even the questions you're going to ask the kids, you plan them. You're super organized. How are you going to check for understanding? You plan all that. I've taken so much of those values with me. And then in the teaching space, I was also given an opportunity to do a leadership program.
Yeah.
That's like when you become in that program, growing into being an assistant principal, a principal, all that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
unfortunately didn't get to that far because now I had to leave the profession completely. So that leadership program, David, sure, it's with me till today. How to communicate and manage the staff that works under you. When you have your one-on-ones, you don't, firstly, this was not good enough. You start with the positive.
The demand
you start saying, this, I observed you, this you did well. This, well done. I loved your initiative there. And then you don't go to the negative or the bad. You call it areas of improvement. That was all in that leadership program. And I still do it today. These are the areas of improvement. This you can push more. This you can do better.
Yeah.
And then any support that you need, maybe, so yeah.
Yeah, and like we've mentioned a lot of things. You mentioned communication, media studies,
yes,
education, ministry. There's also another thing, the Centre of Hope.
Tholakele Centre of Hope.
Yes, can you tell us about it?
Yes, that's a children's home. It's called Tholakele Centre of Hope. Being now in ministry and leading the church with my husband.
Yes.
The children's home is a leg of the church. It's part of the church. So the church's name, if you don't mind me mentioning, it's Christian Community Changes. So the community part of it is vital. So, and when you look around, who's most vulnerable in our communities? It's children.
Kids, yeah.
And there's so many children. According to the Department of Social Development, we now sit with over 5 million orphans, children with no parents. And that's how Tholakele Centre of Hope started. They need a home, they need guidance, they need to be raised. And the children's home now has 40 children. They live there, they eat there, they go to school. And Tholakele means, it's a Zulu word that means the founded one. So a child is birthed, David, innocent, but as they come into this world, prickled with HIV/AIDS, neglect, abandonment, abuse, a child with no mom, a child with no parents is just exposed to any abuse, and many of them are abused. Many of them are behind with schooling because there's no one who's saying, do your homework.
Yes.
There's no one who's saying, eat a balanced meal to go to school. And now being found and taken into Tholakele Centre of Hope, they are back to education. Funny enough, because I'm a teacher, I'm very strict on education. Homework supervision, ensuring that we close those gaps. And I'm proud to say that from the children's home, we've produced graduates. There's matriculants every year. So it's really changing lives.
So like how can maybe a person who also has like maybe a big heart and wants to play a role or take part, like how does it work? Do you have like maybe a website or
it's in the East Rand, in the middle of very poor townships of Watema in Zakane. So the center relies on government grants, subsidy, which is never enough because children literally live there. They eat there. They have you have to provide needs. Everything, and that's expensive. And you have to have staff members. So, as I said to you, that now me leading our church meant me leading the leg of the church, which is the children's home. So, what was your question?
No, you answered.
Ask it again.
Like that was truly amazing.
Oh yes, how can people help? Oh, yes, that's the key. That's the key right there. So that subsidy, the government grant is never enough. So we rely on the community. We rely on private sectors. I work every day to say support, give. The community giving secondhand clothing. from children, we take from 2 years to 18 years. You are making a great difference. Donating food, books. We need
anything,
all the hands that we can.
Yo.
We don't have much of a website, you know.
You're doing the work, like
and sometimes the resources. But we have a Facebook page.
Yes,
I'll give you that link.
Yeah.
And then we have our company profile. So maybe someone wants me to email them our profile or come to visit the center.
Why is it important for women, especially in Women's Month, to be reminded of the power they hold to create safe, healing spaces?
Sure. Let's begin where, as women, we believe that we actually don't believe the power we actually possess, the power that is within us that we hold, you know. And mainly it's because we get crippled by fear, you know. We get crippled by societal expectations. But above all, we don't recognize our power because we are so crippled with our minds, our thoughts. You know, we think so small of ourselves. And, you know, once you know that God made you so powerful, so unique, you know, when God created man and woman in the book of Genesis, he said, I'm creating you in my own image, right? And then you go and have dominion. You go and you know, rule over the world, rule over the earth, dominate animals. So already God gave you that dominance as a human being, that being on earth, you have the dominion. And let's be careful in how we read the Bible or interpret the Bible. God didn't say, I'm creating you to dominate one another.
Yes. Not
for men to dominate women. I think those things came once the fall of man came and the devil had his way, you know. But male and female, we have that dominion.
Yes.
So we should recognize the power that we have.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I have to read, like there are a lot of like questions that I have that are interesting, that some of them I might even finish the podcast without even asking them.
Okay.
Many women today are seeking alignment between their work, their values, and their faith. What would you say to those still searching, who still trying to find themselves?
Yeah. Alignment is, as you're saying, in work, in your faith space, in discovering yourself. Alignment, you first have to know that you are a spirit being first, David.
Yes, 100%.
You are a spirit being. You are just having a human experience.
Yes.
You are a spirit, you are covered with a body, and you have a soul inside. And we so much think that we are the body. We put so much emphasis on the body, how we look and all that. But not that you should neglect yourself, but you are not the body. And you are form of spirit, and spirit is who is God. So you must be aligned with God. You are not even your soul, because your soul, that's where you have your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts. You can't rely on your feelings. Sometimes even my thoughts, what I thought coming in here and what I'm thinking now, it's different. So I can't rely on that. So you are spirit and God is spirit. Align yourself that way first and foremost. Yeah.
It's Women's Month. Are there any women that like maybe played a role or inspired you or still inspiring you right now?
You know, no one supersedes my mother. Strong woman. She came full circle. She continued to raise us. She continued to provide for us, ensuring we even go to university. And I just admire women who are very strong in their faith, who are grounded, who full of the word. And that has been my mother. She was not only my physical mother, but she was also my spiritual mother. And just other women, you know, in ministry, like your Joyce Mayers, others in ministry who are strong in the word. I gravitate to those women. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. And what message can you leave as we close off, like to all the teachers, the mothers, the leaders, or those who are still trying to discover their next step, since it's Women's Month, like just something from your heart, like, is there anything that you'd like to share?
Yeah. Focus is very important. We need to focus in whatever you do. Focus on one thing and master that one thing. This saying that says, being a jack of all
trades,
being a jack of all trades, you end up being the master of nothing. Master of none. So focus on something, master that. If it's teaching, work at it. You find those kids who are amazing piano players. They started when they were like 4 years old. I started when I was 4 years old. My parents supported me. They tuned my skill. And even looking back at people like this one who invented the telephone, Alexander Graham Bell. He invented the telephone, but the focus on that one invention, everything, failing 1,000 times, finding the sound, finding the instrument, that there must be a way that we can communicate easier than the letters and the long way. And he eventually cracked it. I'm more in entrepreneurship, so I study people like the one who started KFC. He was selling that recipe everywhere. He was developing that recipe everywhere. He was going door to door. Apparently, he failed more than 1,000 times. He was rejected so many times. But focusing on one thing and excelling on that one thing is going to make you rich. It's going to bring you money. Your gift, honing your gift. Don't allow distractions. Distractions will just lose you from your destiny. Hone that, and you're going to get rich from that. And you're going to, even your children's children are going to get rich from that. Yes, you can diversify later. Later, maybe because we will have other streams of income. But hone that gift, focus on that gift.
That one, it hits home, because for me, I think I've always had like the problem of, I try different things and they work. And sometimes, yes, they can be interconnected, but like, I wouldn't say it's one thing. So I'll take your advice.
Yes. And also, as you were saying, what's in my heart, it's Women's Month. I also feel that these days as women, we are so unstable. We are so changing. Anything just sways us wherever the wind blows. We are not enduring. So we need to get back to a place where we have stability, where nothing just moves you, because we end up taking permanent decisions, making permanent decisions from temporal setbacks or challenges. So be more stable. Don't allow your emotions to control you. Don't allow your feelings to control you. They'll mislead you, Be stable. If your faith is in God, be stable. Keep your belief strong, Don't doubt, don't waver. Even the Bible says that a person who wavers and is double-minded will not receive anything from the Lord. You won't even receive leadership positions because you change. How can we trust you? So we need to be more stable as women.
No, thank you so much, Mrs. Mthembu. And I don't want to keep you for long, because I know you have to travel for a long way. And there's a tradition that we do here. We give teachers their flowers while they're still alive. While they still can receive them.
Thank you.
So for
this
us here,
beautiful.
Thank you. And I thank God that I still have the chance to personally thank you in front of whoever is watching, the foundation that you've laid, and it truly contributed to the kind of person that I am professionally and also in my own personal life. So thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
So we've come to the end. Make sure if you haven't like, subscribe, share your thoughts. Is there a woman that maybe have impacted you in your career? even if you're not in the teaching space, make sure you share on the comments below. And yeah, see you next time. Peace.
Thank you.